Shechitas oivet kechavim nevela. The shechita of a goy is considered nevela, umetama b'masa, and the nevela is metama b'masa. Freit the Gemara, nevela, it's only a nevela. Isra no loy. Are you not choshid that he's shechting l'shem avodah zarah, and it should be asur b'na as well? Man Tana, who is the Tana who holds that we don't assume that a shechita of a goy is lavodah zarah? It would not be consistent with Rabbi Eliezer. The Rabbi Eliezer, if you hold like Rabbi Eliezer, Omar, he said, Stam machshavas ovid kechavim lavodas kechavim. The stam machshav of a goy is for avodah zarah, and therefore you have to assume that it was shech l'shem avodah zarah.
How was their day even?
They would have shechted it. Rabbi agrees with the conclusion of Rabbi Chia, and he says, this is pshat in our Mishnah, Shechitas oived kechavim nevela. Hadamin, if it was of a min, of an apikar, someone who is odukin avodah zarah, hadamin lavodas kechavim, it would have the din of avodah zarah, we also bana. Tanina la the Tana Rabbanan, we have a brayso that supports this. The Tana Rabbanan, Shechitas min lavodas kechavim, the stam shechita of a goy, of a min, is to avodah zarah, meaning it will be also bana. Pitai pas kusi. Therefore, his bread is like the pas of a kusi. Yena Yizai Nesach, Svarav are Sifrei Koismin, Perois of Tvelim, V'yesharmim Avbanav Amzerim. So let's see Rashi. Shechitas min, what type of min are we talking about? Min the Yisrael. Even a Yisrael who's a min. The assumption is that if a Yid who's Odak Lavai Zorah, a Goy who's Odak Lavai Zorah, surely his Shechita is Shechitas min, it's also Vano. V'hamas Nisan Mia Be Yisrael Kaima. The Mishnah is speaking about a Yisrael Amin. Midikama Peiros of Tfeilim. This brisa has to be speaking about a Yid because it says Peiros of Tfeilim. The Peiros of a Goy is not Tevel. It's not Mechuyev and Trumas and Maishas. But if it's the Peiros of a Yid, his Trumas and Maishas are no good. Uban of Mamzerim and the children of Mamzerim. Again, Goy doesn't have a child of Mamzer. B'Seider Zroim Shaninu Eimer Hayer Rabbi Lezer. Pas kusi kabosar chazir b'meseches shvius. Svarov Torah neviim uksuvim shekas von min are kesifrei koismin neviei habal. The dilshem avodas kechavim kosvay. V'chinam ermin b'meseches gitin sevitor shekasvay min yisarev. Tosfos speaks out something pretty interesting. There was a dramatic chayrim put on them. Pitoi pas kusi b'pikad Rabbi Lazar yesh the Ezra uzurubavel ben Shaltiel. The Yeshua ben Yitzadok nidu oison put the kutim, I guess, into cherem. B'shloi shemeyos kahanim with 300 kahanim. B'shloi shemeyos tinoikos with 300 children. B'shloi shemeyos sifrei Torah. V'yutoikin they would blow the shofar. V'alaviyim mishoidim. U'mesayim ba mikan amru kol oichel paskusi ki ilu oichel basar chazir. So they made a whole production when they outlawed the kutim. Talk to Gemara weiter. Bon of Mamzerim, Af bon Mamzerim. Rashi says she'enoi makbid al ishtoi umafkira. V'Tanakama says ishtoi loy mafkir. He has all these problems, but his children are not Mamzerim. Amar Mar Shechitas oived kechavim nevela. The shechita of a goy is a nevela. I freak the Gemara v'nechu shemo minhu. Maybe the goy is also oduk and avodah zarah. Amar Rab Nachman, Amar Rabbi Baravua, ein minin be'umos oivdei kechavim. There's no goyim that are minin. Freit the Gemara, what do you mean? V'kachazina diika. Ema ein roiv oivdei kechavim minin. Most goyim are not minin. Therefore, minin are mi'uta. Rashi says, ulu mi'uta lacheshina. Ein roiv oivdei kechavim minin.
What's the problem with him? And he can shut the for
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right, but doesn't mean he's yeah. We're going to soon see.
Something like a month?
No, a min is someone whose mind is dedicated with it, from the guy. Yeah. Sagt the Gemara, ein right way to kav minim. Sover lo kihad amar b'chi bar abba amar b'yechanan, they're all fry. Nachim shebechutz lo oretz, lav oivdei avoidis kachavim hein, they're not really oivdei avoidis kachavim, elaminig avisein b'yadeim. You think the goyim believe in Christianity? They go, you know what I'm saying? Amar Rabbi Yosef bar Benumi Amar Rab Nachman, ein minin be'umois oivdei kachavim. There is no such thing as minin be'umois oivdei kachavim. Lamai nafkamina did Rab Nachman say is halacha. Ilema l'shchita. If you're going to tell me that his shchita is not asabana, verkehrt. Hashcha shchitas min di Yisrael amrit asira. We said in the Brisa that if a Yisrael is a min, he's known to be other klava yizara. His shchita is going to be asabana. The oivet kachav mi boy pashas of the guy is even more other klava yizara than Yid. Ella. The nafkamina that Nachman said that ein minin be'umas of the kachavim is lagabe the halacha of mayridin. What does mayridin mean? It means you would cause their death. Mayridin bebar, darminin be'ein mamidin, haminin mayridin oisan lebar. You take them down, lock them up in a pit, and let them starve to death. Avalo oiv the kachavim v'aroyim be'emadaka afilu Yisrael loy malin v'loy mayridin. If they're trapped, you're not going to help them, but you don't take them down. So maybe that's what Reb Nachman meant, is you're not moirid a goy. I mean, frankly, that's not logical. How should the Yisrael moiridin doiv the kechavim miboy? Why should a goy be any better off than a Yid? Amar Rav Ukfa bar Chama, maybe what Reb Nachman meant, that there's no meaning about umas of the kechavim, maybe he meant lekabel meim carbon, that a goy who's a min, you could be mekabel carbon from a goy. As Rashi says, lakabel ben carbon, the makabel carbon mikulam. You accept from all goyim karbonis, umakriva noy shalom mizbeach. Avol b'min Yisrael loy. A min Yisrael, you would not accept his carbon. Kedekatoni say v'dach masnisa, chutz min ha-mumar l'nasach as hayayin. V'af al pi she'enei mumar l'shar mitzvahs, even though he's not a mumar for all mitzvahs, dafka l'avei zara, he cannot, maybe carbon, ein mekabel mehimenu, kedetaritzna il b'perkin. So Zok to Gemara, the Tanya we learned, Mikem, Adam Kiyakif, Mikem, Veloy Kolchem. Not all of you can bring a karbonis, Lahoitzi es hamumar, to be moitzi a mumar cannot bring a carbon. Mikem, from you, Bachem Chalakti. I only made that distinction between a min and a non-min, so that you don't accept karbonis from a min, Dafka Bachem by Klal Yisrael. Veloy ba'oiv di kechavim, but by Goy, we will even accept karbanas from amin. Mimai, del mahachi kamar. Maybe what the pasuk is saying is mi Yisrael mitzadike kabel mirishi loise kabel. From a yid, only a subset of yid and those who are tzadikim can you accept karbanas from. But maybe avol ba'oiv dikachavim klal loy. Maybe the Torah is telling me that you don't bring karbanas at all. When it says bachem chalak, maybe bachem I made a chiluk that a tzaddik can bring a carbon, but a guy shouldn't be able to bring a carbon at all. That's not logical because we have another pasuk. The Tanya it says ish Yaakov became right, but it says ish a second time. Matam ish l'rabbi sa'oivdei kechavim shenoidrin nidarim u'nidavus Yisrael. We have a pasuk that tells us that a guy can bring karbanos. So therefore, the chiluk between a min and a non-min would only apply to a Yisrael. It would not apply to a guy. Zok to Gemara v'ater umetama b'masa like a nevela. Frag to Gemara kivan the nevela he metama b'masa. Why does the Mishnah have to tell us hilchas tahiris? Once the Mishnah says it as a din of a nevela, you can look it up in Mesechus tahiris that a nevela is metama b'masa. Amarava hachi ketani zu metama b'masa. Dafka this is metama b'masa, meaning shechita that a goy did. V'yesh loch acheres, there's a similar type of shechita, shehi metama afilu ba'oil, that would even be tamei ba'oil. Be'ezai, zu takruvis avoidus kachafim. That is if he's being makruvit la'avoidus zar. Stam shechita of a goy is a nevela. But if a goy had in mind beferish avoidus zara, that would also be asher. Ucha Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseir, like Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseir says, that the kruvus of a desire is also by now. We're going to see it soon. Ikadamri Amarava Hachigatani. Zu metama b'masa. This is only tummy like an nevela b'masa. V'yesh loch acher shehi kazu. And there's another situation that just like this, that's umatama b'masa. So when it says that it's nevela umatama b'masa means even in another scenario that's similar to this, it's only matama b'masa ve'in matama b'oil. Ve'ezazu zu takrovu savadis kachavim, and that will be the like Rabbi Dubem B'Seira. The Tanya. No, it doesn't change it. It makes it Asher Bahno because of Avodah Zarah. Because Avodah Zarah is Matama b'oil. Yeah, Avodah Zarah is Matama b'oil. The Tanya Rabbi Yehuda B'Seira, I mean, minayin the takruvas avodas kechavim she Matama b'oil. How do you know that takruvas Avodah Zarah is Matama b'oil? Meaning, if it's in the oil, anything that's in the oil becomes tamei, even if it's not moved or carried or touched by it. Shenemar v'yitzmedu lebal pa'or. It's called the takruvas avodas zarah zivchei mesim. Ma mes mitama b'oil after takruvas avodas kechavim mitama b'oil.
Even the very first line of the Gemara could have answered this kasha, because the Gemara said he asked about Israel. No, so the Mishnah B'davka said Nasa.
It could have said nevela. It could have said plain nevela.
No, and then you would have thought about Israel.
But there is no Israel no for nevela. It's only issue on Zivchei Mesim. Yeah. Hashoichet b'layla. What if someone shechs at night? V'chein asuma, or someone who's blind. Sheshachat shchita soy ksera. Hashoichet is a lashon di'evedin l'chatchila loy. So it's mashma that l'chatchila you shouldn't shecht at night. Or minil la'olam shoichin bein b'yoyim bein b'layla bein b'rosh hagag bein b'rosh hasfina. Omer papa, you know when you can shecht l'chatchila by night? Bisha avuka kenegdai. If you have light there, that's what the brisa that says la'olam shaykhlin is referring to with light. But if you didn't have light, then you're not allowed to shecht l'chatchila only b'diavad. Amar Abashi dekanami, the katani hasam dum yodiyim. There it's saying la'olam shaykhlin bein b'layla. So we're comparing what type of layla could you shecht in layla that's dum yodiyim. V'hacha dum yodasuma. But our Mishnah is comparing Belayla to Suma, where there'll never be light, Shemamina. So what's the chiddush that if you have an artificial light, you could shecht?
Dark, obviously.
So I understand why if it's dark, it would be b'diavad. But maybe the chiddush is that you could shecht even l'chatchila if you have light. You don't have to worry it'll blow out in the middle. Right?
Dark.
Why do you have to? The chiddush is that it's kosher.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The chiddush is that it's kosher.
Done it 1,000 times. It knows where the neck is.
Okay, so we have an interesting thing, a Barosh Sfina. There's a problem of Barosh Gag and Barosh Sfina that Rashi addresses. Because Avagav that Nan Ba'ashoichet ain't shoichten loy l'soich yamim v'loy l'soich naharis. You're not allowed to shecht into a yam, so the blood should run into the yam. Why? The loy lemru l'sar shel yamu shoichet. It looks like he's shechting l'avodah zarah. V'loy l'soich kelim. You're not allowed to shecht into a keli. The loy lemru hoil u'mekabel sadam l'zarkoi l'avodas k'chav mutzarch. Afilu achi zakt Rashi b'roish hagag lechatchilo you could shecht vein chosheshin l'shem yoyru l'tzva shemayim ala lishchot. He's going to shecht to the celestial beings, to the moon, to the stars. Oy makabel b'kli hakol yoydin she'yavshir l'tanaf es hagag. If he was makabel the dam, no one's going to think that he's trying to shpris l'avodah zarah. They're going to think that he doesn't want his roof full of blood. Ve'ein kan chashad uvesvina nami hakol yoydin kivan de besvinahu al korchay hu shoichet l'soichayam. Where else is he supposed to shechtu? She'yavshir loy l'tanaf es hasvina. But Tosfos actually disagrees with Rashi. And Tosfos says, "Pirish b'kodesh avagav dermin lekamon dein sheichtel l'soich yamim hafilu hachi b'roish hasvina sheichtin lakol yoidin the kivan de besvinahu al korcha hu shoichet l'soich yam shalatanov sefinasi." Zok Tosfos, that's not a good teretz. The efshel oimerkein the hafilu oimed besvina also l'shchet l'soich yam kedermin lekam b'soich perik sheni elamoitzi yodai chutz l'svina v'shoichet. What you have to do is you have to have the naked animal stick out past the svina and then shecht outside of the svina. V'shoichet v'dam shoises v'yorid al doitnei svina. You don't catch the blood. Let the blood run down the wall of the svina. That will surely indicate that it's not l'avodah zarah.
That fire on the boat?
Yeah, sure.
wooden fire, it's a wooden boat.
What are you talking about? All boats have barbecues on them. I'll show you.
Aren't you supposed to cover the blood?
A bird. If it's a bird or if it's a chaya, you have to kis adam. But for a behemoth, you don't have to cover it.
Oh, for baby, you don't have to. Okay.
Not by them. Only by chaya and oil. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm late. Because of that, we lost the opportunity to learn Yudal Amar Aleph. Maybe we'll learn that tomorrow. Yidl is not gebenched.